Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Global Exclusive Podcast. This is episode 43. I'm Muspel, and this week I'm joined by Bharos and nobody else. Dream is currently trying to swim from New Zealand to America, and Cotton was attacked by a werechow. Shadow, we're not sure where he is, but we'll worry about him some other time.
Yeah,
He's
and honestly,
not as important.
yeah, like I was just gonna say, do we even care where Shadow is?
I mean, I'm sure somebody does. I just don't know if
Yeah,
it's anybody on the podcast.
it is what it is. It is what it is. I do hope Dream survives his long, long swim, and I also do hope that Cotton grows the fuck up and learns to wake up at 7 a.m. because that's a
Oh,
perfectly normal time.
we've got a great segue here. Speaking
Oh,
of people that nobody cares about, we can move right on to Black Mage Arc.
excellent, excellent, nice. So Black Mage Arc, what the fuck is this unit?
He is a TM and an STMR.
Hmm. Better
Uh,
than my joke.
his STMR is kind of crap. Like, it's got high magic for a hat, and it has LB fill rate and MP recovery. Like, it's not
Uh,
terrible, but it's not. I'm
I
not
mean,
getting
okay, okay.
excited
Listen,
looking at
listen.
this.
Whale-wise, this is the highest Mage hat, right? Is it?
Maybe?
I
I'm trying to
think
think what
so.
else is there.
I mean,
Uh,
like it's Kryle's Scrunchy, and then it's Carlet's STMR, but those have 60. Is there anything higher?
Heinz has 62.
Oh, okay, okay. But this is 64, so it's good.
Yeah, I guess. I do think that I would frequently prefer, what's it called? Wizard of Shantoto's TM because it has 20% magic, or maybe, no,
Isn't
15%
no no
magic.
it's 10%. Yeah,
I just looked it up. It's 15. It has
uh,
52 flat magic and 15%.
right. Yeah, that's usually pretty good if you can't cap. It is
Yeah.
technically like I often get that in the builder suggested instead of any other hat. So
There's also Veronica's if you're a Mega Whale and you pulled for that, which it only has 61 magic, but it decreases MP used by 30%, which could be nice, I guess.
yeah, and now the
Anyways,
Veronica is meta. Like who doesn't have four Veronicas?
yeah, there's nothing wrong with Arc's STMR. It's just not exciting.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice consolation price. So if you're a mega nerd for Onion Knight and you pull like you did 8 sets on his banner, it's likely you got 4 arcs, right? And then you have this as a nice reward, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like
Although
it's not
his
that big an
TMR is
upgrade
like,
from TM's. His TM is actually okay.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, so it's kind of like it's worse or it's equally it's as good as some of the event stuff we've gotten, like the Unholy Scepter. No, I don't remember what the material is called, but it's a 60% magic flat that we got. But this does have a couple of resistances to status
yeah, and
ailments, which is always nice.
it's two of the really bad status ailments. So it's in some cases it could be like a replacement for a Ribbon or Lotus Mage
Yeah,
Venus TM
yeah,
or whatever. But
yeah, absolutely.
again, this is something. If you pull Arc, you're not very happy.
Yeah, I mean, although to be honest, I think if we look at TMRs, so let's ignore my STMRs, but if we look at TMRs, I only have two 60% magic materia. And the only one higher than that is my 80%, which is the Toto STMR. So
Yeah,
it's like it is relatively rare. I wouldn't cry if I got another. It's nice for DV gearing. Although we're really overselling this unit, like Jesus Christ, because it's so
yeah.
trash otherwise.
I really wish that he had.
A skill set.
Well, yeah, but like if he had Quadcast and some kind of elemental thing, then in Dark Visions at least you could use him to dispel elemental resist buffs and do the Reaper damage buff and then chain with somebody. But he
Yeah,
only has triple cast and he only has non-elemental moves.
yeah.
And
That's the worst part about it. It's just only non-elemental moves, which
yeah,
is technically worthless for DV. It's absolutely worthless because every DV boss has the 80%
his
resistance.
LB inflicts all status ailments. Those are always useful, right?
Well, for arena,
No, they're not useful in arena. Everybody runs immunity.
yeah. I guess doesn't even chain well. Yeah, oof. I mean, but remember back in the day when Noctis was king and he would do all status ailments. That was great.
He
That
actually
was a great
probably
time.
is pretty good for arena because he has an AoE move that chains and does AoE stop, and he can triple cast it. So
Yeah, yeah. It's onion slice, unfortunately, but sure.
Yeah, but I just hit repeat, so I don't really care if stuff doesn't chain perfectly.
Yeah, yeah, me too, me too. True. Although now I am so fucking mad at Arena because now that phase is a thing, my triple Magitech Warrior Terra, like I just if there's a phase on the team, I just give up, and because I don't want
Oh,
to waste the time of my
that's why I
day.
use physical chainers. Do you
Yeah, I
have
know.
do you have NVA Veritas of the Dark?
Yeah, I do. But I run Veritas of the Dark with 3 Terras, so
Oh
like he
yeah,
caps
just
their
bring
chains.
a couple AoE physical chainers like AK Rain and anybody else that has AoE SR chains. And
Yeah, yeah.
trust me, everything just dies instantly on turn one when you
No,
have
I
them.
should, I should probably do that. I mean, it's the same with Terra's. You know, Terra has a CWA chain that's a combo, so it's 2 part, and she quadcasts. So like 3 Terras plus Veritas do like stupid damage in a turn.
I find that just Veritas on his own with any chains will murder anything.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I
Okay.
remember someone doing calcs like saying like 34k HP is what you need to
Yeah, we can
survive.
probably move on from Arc now though, because I think
Yes,
we've talked about
yes,
him for
yes,
like
yes.
5 minutes.
Nothing to say about this unit. Like literally nothing to say.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about to Luneth next? Let's kind of build our way up to the interesting unit. So
Sure.
let's do Refia because she's the second most boring unit probably.
You think? Okay, okay. I'm not sure I agree, but okay. Let's do Refia.
So Refia has like some not great damage, and then she has some kind of neat support stuff in her kit. So for starters, just her damage is like 134 billion, which puts her near NVA Cloud, not remake Cloud, but like
Yeah,
regular
NBA
NVA
Cloud
Cloud.
and Veritas, right? She's around there.
Yeah, which is not a good spot to be in, but whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
and her
but
base form is really garbage. I'm gonna say like there's not much to say about that, right?
her base form is where all the damage stuff is.
Yeah,
But her Brave Shift has some interesting utility.
and that's what I'm excited about. That's why I'm saying I don't think she's that boring because I actually think that she's gonna get some fair use at least in DV, at least in DV.
Yeah, so her Brave Shift has a Grandis ability with 2 uses that gives you 4 turns of 50% physical and magic mitigation, which is pretty good. And then she also has a cooldown that gives 80% resistance to 4 elements. And she has AoE and Trust. Her LB also does some elemental resists. She can reflect your allies. Like you said, I think this is the kind of thing that'll come in handy in DV.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that bothers me a lot with her shift form is that her so she also has this ability that increases fire, water, wind, and earth physical and magical damage by 10%, which is very nice, especially for DV. Like if you're having to run one of these elements and you don't have the NV base unit that actually does this buff, Refia is going to be amazing because she's also going to be able to chain either AR or Mirror Equity, but that ability is not in her triple cast. So, like, first I want to say you're underselling the fact that she has physical and magic mitigation by 50% because that is a high mitigation.
It
It's,
is.
I mean, like, if you want to get higher on physical, you kind of have to bring Renora. And I don't even know who does higher
Minior,
on magic.
Minior has 60%.
Oh, Minor has 60%. Oh, yeah, Minor has 60%. But, so, and the thing is, it's going to last 8 turns.
Sorry, you don't know who has higher on magic?
Yeah? No. Phasey?
But,
Oh, Phasey.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, fucking Phasey. Yeah, okay. That is the answer. Yes, true. No, but okay. My point is they're really high, and like most fights don't last more than 8 turns if you're prepared for them. So like, I mean, I see a scenario where you can bring Refia as a 140 billion damage dealer that also, takes care of your mitigations. It's not that bad. She also has this
Yeah.
weird ability that increases accuracy. What's up with that?
Oh god, this caused so much confusion when it came out because accuracy doesn't work the way that anybody thought it did.
Okay.
So, people thought that like you started at 0% accuracy, and then your accuracy percent was your chance to ignore evasion. So if you had 100%
Oh.
or more accuracy, you would always ignore all evasion, no matter what. Like an enemy could have 400% dodge, but if you had 100% accuracy, you would always hit.
But isn't that true?
That is not entirely true.
Oh, okay.
It's better to think of it as you start at 100% accuracy, and then
Okay.
for each 1% accuracy over 100, you have that chance to ignore dodge. So at 200% accuracy, which is when you have 100% from gear, you
Right.
ignore all dodge. And the
Right.
reason why that's a relevant distinction is because these accuracy buffs and debuffs, for that matter, apply to your total accuracy. So if you're at, and it doesn't matter much for this buff, it matters more when you look at Onion Knight because he has a debuff for accuracy.
Okay.
But like, let's say that you were at 200% accuracy, which is what we
Uh,
used to think was 100%. If a boss applies a 50% accuracy debuff to you, then they can dodge you. Because you would think
yeah,
that,
or half the time, right? Because you have
yeah, no,
50%
they would
dodge.
they would dodge you all the time if they had 100% dodge, because you would go from 200% accuracy down to 100%, at which point the boss's dodge
Oh,
always
wait, you're
works.
saying this is multiplicative, so.
Yes,
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's
but where
interesting.
where this
Oh.
matters more is when you have a unit with an accuracy debuff, because if the boss has accuracy, like 100% accuracy, and you hit them with a 50% debuff, then their accuracy goes back down to 100%. Assuming they only gained 100. If they have more than that,
Yeah, okay.
then it would be different. But
Right. Okay. But I mean, what would the use be here then? It would be like
here it would
what?
just be not very useful, to be honest. I guess if a boss has dodge, you can use this, but you probably want to just use a TDH chainer rather than taking the chance of missing.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
yeah, yeah. As you're saying, like you're facing a boss with dodge, like some amount of passive dodge, and you're bringing TDW chainers, and you kind of want to increase your overall damage output. But okay, okay. Here's the thing. So I have a feeling that lately we've gotten these weird abilities on units, and they've always proven to be useful in an upcoming trial and or DV. Do we know if like there's an upcoming trial that would need to increase the accuracy of your units?
I don't know. Dream might know, but
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 he's
like
swimming,
I said,
so
yeah, he's swimming the Pacific Ocean, so we might
yeah,
not
a
hear from him
shark is
for.
literally like fondling his balls right now, and he doesn't know if this is pleasant or terrifying.
So that's Onion Knight Refia. Moving on to Luneth.
Wait. Before we move on, I just had one tiny thing to say about her base form, which is that she does have like if you use so in her base form she has an ability that's a Grandis ability that does 30% damage mitigation against undeads, meaning that if you bring her, you're gonna have 50% physical and magical mitigation and 30% undead mitigation for 8 turns, which can be game breaking against an undead enemy because the undead enemy is not going to do shit to your party all of a sudden. So that's a niche, I guess, that's worth mentioning.
Yeah. She also
Do
has
we
Mage
have?
Arc frames, which is going to be useful in DB again,
Yeah.
because you always want those for the chain count stuff.
But given that, do we have any undead trials upcoming? Do we have a scorn going extreme or something like that soon?
I'm not sure if they've made Extreme Lich yet, but I would imagine it's coming at some point.
Is Lich the only he is, right? Yeah, I don't remember.
I think so. There's probably some serious boss battles, but who cares about those? They're always easy.
Yeah, but it's worth mentioning, since all mitigation is multiplicative, you really want to stack them. So given that you would do like 50% general mitigation, 50% physical mitigation, and 30% undead mitigation, you're really going to be taking very little damage from an
Yeah,
undead enemy.
that's going to end up being somewhere around 92% reduction of the original damage.
Yeah, which is pretty strong. So keep that in mind. Like if you have a Refia, keep her around until we get an undead trial, and that's probably the only time you'll ever use her. And you won't probably even use her then because that trial is going to be a joke. Let's not kid
Yeah.
around.
And then the next unit is the other NVA, and that's Dark Knight Luneth. And he is a finisher mostly. You can use him as a chainer. He's not really that special in terms of chaining. As a finisher, he does, like 2/3 of Tifa's damage, something like that.
Well, which is pretty reasonable. I mean, like again, for I know I say this a lot on the pod, but like for DVA, that's really strong. You can't bring two Tifas, so
Well, yeah, I mean, part of it is just that Tifa was too strong when she came out, but it's been months since we got her, and we're still getting units that are just worse versions of her in most
yeah, sure,
ways.
sure. But still, like again, you can't bring two Tifas, and 2/3 of a Tifa is still really, really strong
Yeah.
burst. So that's very nice.
He also has 70% breaks, which aren't great, but can get the job done, I guess. The
Mm,
more relevant thing is that he has skills that will dispel only attack and only stat buffs. So it's not a perfect dispel, but it's like a partial perfect dispel.
And it's not on a cooldown and or Grandis, which makes it very interesting against the bosses that actually have like constant buffs
Yeah.
because it's also a chaining ability. So
So
like
this is going to be something that's very useful again in DV because there's a bunch of bosses where a lot of the time you want to dispel them, and it can be hard to fit that in. And here's a fairly good damage dealer that can do it
yeah, yeah.
without messing up your imperils or whatever.
And again, it's on a chaining ability, so you can actually do it even on the nuke turn if you have to, which is really really useful.
He's also immune to paralyze, confuse, and petrify, which is
That's nice.
nice. But yeah, or at
Yeah.
least in his Brave Shift, I haven't checked the base form.
Oh wait, I didn't actually see that he has two ways to remove stat buffs. Oh, okay, because he has a SR chain and a mirror equity chain that both remove stat buffs. Super interesting.
Yeah.
That's useful. I mean, that is definitely useful.
Another thing I want to mention, I think we've talked about this on previous episodes, but his abilities cost a percentage of his HP, but it's a percentage of his current health, so it can't kill
Yeah.
him unless maybe he's at 1%. I have never tested that. Or if he's at 1 HP, it might kill him. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
because the difference is sacrifice or HP damage, right? That's the difference.
yeah, HP sacrifice is what you see on like Dark Knight Cecil, and that's why he dies if he dual wields.
Yeah,
Um,
because he sacrifices from based on max HP, while
yeah,
HP damage is based on current HP, meaning you
yeah.
can't die.
So he's safe, and he also buffs his attack when you drop low on health, which is pretty good. Because it means that he doesn't have to like spend actions to buff his attack. It just happens kind of passively as he does other stuff.
Yeah. And in DV, HP damage that you inflict on yourself doesn't count towards
Yes,
taking damage. So that's also very nice.
thankfully, yes, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No, it's really good. I mean, there is one ability that I've used a lot of times in DV, and now I'm forgetting which one it is. But I've been very thankful that HP damage isn't a thing.
smoke bomb.
No, not Smoke Bomb. Although I have used that once. Ah, it's something else.
Is it something on the lock?
No, not all. Wait. Maybe on Lock. Does he do shit? He does shit to his HP, right? Oh yeah, yes, absolutely Lock, absolutely Lock. Yes, because you use his cooldown to get his LB buffed. Yes. Lock,
Yeah. So I
100%.
want to say that for Luneth and Refia, I would not recommend pulling for them really. Like
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Luneth is going to
Jesus.
be okay in DV, but if you're a whale, you probably already have a billion copies of these units, and if you're not a whale, they are not worth it.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of in the line of like if you have them, they're a nice bonus that you might use on some trials in the future, but none of them are game breaking. I honestly do wish I had a Dark Knight Luneth EX1. I don't even have an NV of him yet because I would like to bring him to DV as a burst damage dealer. So I'm a bit sad, but again, it's more like you got a nice bonus if you have any of these units. And I do
Yeah.
think that Refia is interesting. I want to say that she has. I can see some use for her. I can.
I do have NBA Luneth. I'll probably end up using him in DV relatively often, and I'd like to have Refia, but it is not worth my resources.
Yeah, but Luneth, you do need his EX plus one to be the big dick finisher, right?
Yes, and I thankfully have that. But
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've
Yeah.
been very upset at pulling the extra copies of him previously, but at least now there's a little bit of benefit to it.
Yeah. Yep. It's nice. It's nice. And, worst case, at least you get some. What the fuck are the new card buffing cactuars called? Here comes something, right?
Metal Gigantoirs here.
Metal Gigantor is here. Yeah. Not nobody's coming. It's he's just here. Okay. All right. So having done the boring units, okay. Technically, I want to say there is no non-boring unit on this banner because
Yeah,
I literally don't think anyone pulled on this banner.
I'm
But I
sure
guess
some
there's
people
a
did.
good unit.
I don't know why, but I'm sure some people did.
Yeah, I've actually seen an Onion Knight in my friends list, so
Yeah, so
someone did. Someone
I
did.
guess we can start off by talking about his TM and STMR, which are
Hmm?
not bad.
Really good, actually. I want to say.
His TM is 50% true dual wield, and then it also gives 30% undead killer, and that's both physical and magic killers, which means that it's one of like only 7 items in the game that has a magic undead killer,
Hmm.
and one of those items is terrible. Wait, no, two of those items are terrible.
I don't even know which ones they are, but I know
Uh,
they're very rare when I've tried gearing.
there's a staff with 50% undead killer and no magic, and then there's Art of Purification, which has 10% magic and 20% killer. and like you use it, but it's because it's one of the only items that has undead killer. Mind
Right,
you,
right.
this thing is also terrible for mages because it's only 30% killers. But yeah, the
So
point
his
is,
STMR though is like, I know it's good. I'm looking
God
at it
damn
and
it,
I'm
Barros, I
thinking
was
it's
talking about how mages suck. Why you got to interrupt me?
yeah, I know, but I just can't do it anymore. I just, it's been too many episodes. We know, we get it, we get it. No, but I do want to segue into his STMR because I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, this is a nice stat stick. It's our highest damage sword at 188 attack, really nice, some tiny defensive stats, and 30.
It is not the highest.
It's not? We have a higher sword than 188?
Dark Ragnarok?
Oh yeah, obviously, Jesus, yeah, yes. Okay, I don't count that in my mind because it doesn't come from a unit and or trial. Well, it technically does come from a trial, I guess what I want to say is it's underwhelming. Okay, that's what I want to say. I see it and I see it's a good thing, but
I think it's actually
really
fairly good. The resists and the defensive stats are nice. Like, I'm not. This is definitely not one of the STMRs you should be super excited about or that you should pull for or use a super trust
yeah,
Muggle on.
yeah, that's what I'm
But
feeling too. It's like
but I would say that this is probably one of the 3 or 4 best swords in the game.
I mean, it's gonna be amazing when you try to gear your fucking team for 30% resistance because you're using an Esper resistance buff in DV, so that's very nice, of course.
Yeah, it's
But
going to be good in DV. In trials, it's nice because it gives you more breathing room for other stuff. It's not making a huge difference, but it's it's pretty good.
although on him, it's technically very very good to have his STMR because his TMR is often not gonna be optimal to gear him with because
Yeah.
you don't really want to slot in a materia that only gives him 50% true dual wield.
Well, to be fair,
So
that does cap him, but yeah,
no, I know, but there are better
for
sources
sure.
of it, is what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you very much would like to put on his sword instead, and then choose some better stuff to get him up. Although he does have an easy time capping in general, like so, yeah. So his kit, what does he even do? This unit?
He deals damage,
Ah,
and he has breaks.
mm,
Pretty good breaks actually. Let's see, what does he have? He has 80% on demand single target, and 85% on his LB. This is only in his Brave Shift though. I don't think
yeah.
does he have him in his base form?
No breaks in his base form,
Okay, yeah.
unless he has them on his LB. No, I don't think so. Nope, no breaks, no breaks. He also has increased accuracy, so
He's
on his base form.
he's vaguely similar to whatchamacallit, to Bart's in that he kind of ramps up and sets up at the start of the fight
Mm.
with some of these modifier boost things from what I understand. And then those things just last forever and he shifts and does good damage. The difference is that unlike Bart's, he still does good damage on the first few turns.
Yeah, exactly. He isn't sitting. He's in sitting doing nothing, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And then he
Um
has
like the difference between his early turns and his late turns is pretty small. The problem with him is that he does not have any imbues and he does not have any imperils.
yeah he has zero elemental support.
Yeah, if you can get him an external imbue and imperil, he will outdamage any other physical chainer and might outdamage Ibarra when you take killers into account, depending on the enemy race.
Mm. Bugged
Um,
Ibarra. He'd probably outdamage normal Ibarra, but you know.
no, even Bugged Ibarra, he might outdamage against some enemies. I would not. I would want to double check on
Yeah,
that though.
yeah. And again, talking about arena, which literally nobody cares about, he does have a triple combo ability in his Grandis that does damage 3 times in one ability, and it is to all enemies.
The
So
problem
it's
I have with that is that it's hybrid, so it would trigger both physical and magical cover.
yeah.
So I would not want to use
So
that
phase is still
personally.
gonna fuck you up, but it's a thing. It's a thing. He also has no. His base form. I mean, his base form is really for setting up. That's and I the thing I don't like about that is that if you just have his base form, this is quite a lackluster unit. I want to say.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, like, the only thing you have is his onion sword chaining ability, which is strong-ish. Like, it's like, what, 52 mod? And then you get some mod boost on top of it. But, yeah, this is like, I don't like this. Like, I don't like if you get a new shiny Envy unit and it's very lackluster. That's not fun.
Yeah. Uh, Sorry, I had it backwards. Earlier he shifts to do his setup and then he goes back to normal.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think I said it was the other way around, but yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't get the mod boosts, you're gonna like the base form is really not that great.
Also, we touched on this earlier with Refia. He does have the accuracy debuff on his Brave Shift Limit Burst, which if the boss has accuracy and you need to use evasion for some reason, that's it, as long as the boss isn't getting more than 100% accuracy, you can bring them down, and then they'll miss your 100% dodge unit again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's a pretty vanilla unit. Gonna need a little bit of external support. Usually just in Imperil, you can get him a little bit more damage if you imbue him or give him an elemental damage buff or something. But
yeah, because still he's a true dual wield unit, so he can equip elemental weapons without a huge loss.
That would be nice. Kind of a pain in the ass though, because he would need to you would need to find a friend that's using the same elemental weapon, and coordinating that can be a giant headache. But
yeah, true. But I mean, that's what the Discord is for. And here I want to plug our Discord because it's an excellent place to get some really good tips, especially when it comes to DV, because we have some try-hard players that keep capping every fucking DV. I don't know how they do it. So, if you're struggling with the game, you're welcome to our Discord. Link is always in the description. We come in and say hi. We usually hang out there. We talk. We, share hentai and other things that are worth sharing.
We definitely do not share hentai. I ban Bharos every time he does that.
Okay. In my defense, I've not done that yet. Also, just want to say, ish. Really, where's the limit, right? Or where do you draw the line?
At hentai.
Yeah, but I mean, it's very blurry, right?
Hentai and hentai adjacent content.
Yeah, I still feel it's a bit blurry. It has room for breathing, right?
I'm really afraid of what you're going to say if I make any comment about breathing or restricting breathing.
Okay, no. Let's move on. This is not the hentai exclusive podcast, unfortunately. Although, not a bad idea, right? We should start one of those. Yes? No?
A trial came out this week. Two-Headed Dragon Extreme. And I have not done this trial, and Bharos has not done this trial.
But I have seen that hentai.
And its info is not up on the wiki. And I'm kind of trying to look at the data mine here and figure out what the hell it is this boss actually does. Normally we rely on Dream for this thing.
Yeah, we do. But here we can just defer to the wizard of our community, Sinzar, that you can just look up all of this in his excellent mega threads or on his YouTube videos. But as we understand it, this is a very, very, very easy trial. There's a way to just negate all the shit it does. I can't tell you what it is because I haven't done it yet. But there is a way. If you read Sinzar's mega threads or go into his videos, you're gonna find out how. I did see there was a post today on Reddit from someone else on another easy strat for the twin-headed dragons. So,
As far as I can tell, it looks like they took out all of the original fight mechanics of evoking espers to make it not kill you and stuff. And not wanting to attack it and all that. And now it just looks like it's a more normal boss fight. It has, its heads are actually separate units now that you can attack separately. But I don't know what order you're supposed to kill them in or anything. So, yeah.
It's body and then it's bottom head and top head. Yeah, body first, then bottom head, then top head. And just to say, so Sinzar has this super nice strat where if you have Paladin Cecil and a physical cover tank that you bring 4 damage dealers to this fight, okay? So you bring 2 tanks and 4 damage dealers. So it's interesting. It's going to be like your EP version of how fast can you kill this if you can fit 4 or 3 of your own damage dealers and 1 friend. And that sounds interesting. I am now more hyped about doing this trial. I normally do them on Sundays, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking you bring your Tifa, you bring your Cloud, and then you bring a chainer, and then a friend chainer, and this should be a pretty fast trial. I mean, I would bring Ibarra, but, Although, wait, hold on. I think you're not supposed to bring magic DPS for this fight, maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, because you want to use 2 single target physical chainers. Yes, for some reason. I can't tell you why, but,
Looks like he is immune to spirit breaks.
Ah, that's the thing, and the body can be broken, so that's why, I
Although
guess.
the heads look like, oh, never mind. One of the heads has low spirit, one of them has low defense, so that's a
Yeah, but
wash.
like it might also have some weird mechanic where if you use magic type damage, you get fucked up. So who knows?
Yeah. But
Anyway,
the very important thing about this trial is that it gives a helmet that gives 77 defense, 22 spirit, and 30% HP and defense when equipped with heavy armor and several stat immunities. And this is finally an STMR level tank helmet.
oof. Yeah, that has to make you just a little bit aroused, doesn't it? A two-headed dragon that gives head, right?
I've made a terrible mistake.
But that was a good joke, right? I mean, like if we have to rate that joke from like 1 to 10, it's easy 7, right? Easy. Six.
It's higher than 6.9.
Ooh, nice, nice.
But yeah, we've been waiting for something like this for a long time because we never
No,
got
no, no.
original
Muspel
Gibrand.
has been waiting for this for a long time because nobody else uses, physical tanks. Or although this is not, I guess, only a physical tank help ish.
I mean, magic tanks are probably going to want something else, but a lot of the good magic tank headpieces are STMRs, so it depends on what you've got. There's Eurysha's STMR, there's Phases.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Eurysha's STMR, you really don't want this, but it's still nice with the 30% HP if you're wearing a heavy armor, which you probably are if you have like Wilhelm STMR, even if you're a magic tank. So,
Some tanks
um,
also can't equip hats, so
oh,
the
true,
fact that this is
true.
a helmet could matter. Although I think most magic tanks can use hats, so that's not really a big deal.
Yeah, no, no, but it's very nice. It's the Grand Helm plus plus. It's
Oh
very
yeah,
nice.
it's 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 very much plus. I don't know where I was going with this.
Joke about pluses. But it is like much more, or it's much nicer to see such a reward compared to last week's trial that was a bit, like people, like there were people saying they just don't want to do the trial because there's literally no incentive to do it. Although I just like doing trials. I mean, that's literally what the game is all about, but still.
Yeah, I wish that. I mean, we've said this before. I really wish that they would find a way to make these fights more interesting by like reducing healing or something. Because it's just so disappointing that we have these bosses and they're either too easy or they're just really gimmicky.
Yeah, but okay, we've said this so many times, but it's because they've painted themselves into a corner by not controlling the mechanics they add into the game. So, like, this
Yeah.
fight is a perfect example of where if you have a tank, a magic tank that can do re-raise and survive, which is like you have Cecil, you have Phasey, and you have a physical tank that can cover, and you probably gear him for evasion. I don't know, you should look that up before you listen to me, but you negate everything that this boss does. Everything. Like you just negate the boss. You don't even need the broken healers that heal up your entire party every turn. You need to put in 4 damage dealers. And this is only because, they're just not controlling their own mechanics. Honestly, like, and I think you, Muspel, you've talked about this before, but cover is a huge mistake in this game. Like, cover should never exist.
Or at least not the way it works right now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think you suggested something like that it would be a party buff instead that makes your entire party take less damage, right? Something like that.
I think what I suggested was make it so that when you cover, you prevent. It's kind of like an AoE barrier that redirects damage to your team, and the size of the barrier scales based on the tank's defensive stats. So,
Right,
like, you might
right.
have a cover with a 4x modifier, and then you prevent the next 4,000 physical damage that would be dealt to each team member if you have 1,000 defense.
And that would be so much more, so much more better because this whole thing where you can just like eat a huge nuke and just re-raise from it is just dumb. That's just because also of course re-raise is just dumb to begin with.
Yeah,
That should have never been
re-raise
in the
should
game
have been
either.
like a thing that you see on really long cooldowns and probably single target. Or if it's AoE, it should have a serious drawback, like it kills the unit that uses it.
Yeah, yeah. Or like because now we have units that can spam it every turn, and or one thing that would have helped it is just having it skip the unit's next turn, for instance. So it's like a normal raise, but it's just
Yeah,
action economy friendly.
yeah, that would be more reasonable. It would make it largely useless on cover tanks, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
okay. It's okay if you want your tank to not die.
But I'm still thinking the cover tank would continue to cover, so it would work just like it does now. But it like the cover tank would come back next turn without being able to reapply cover.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because you would then be very screwed if the tank can't reapply cover.
Yeah, then you'd have to like do a double tank strat, and that's then we're coming into a more interesting field though, because then it's more reasonable. But there are these mechanics. There are these mechanics like evasion, like re-raise, like cover in general that just really make the game difficult to design for. I mean, stale is a good way too, but it's also like I don't think they can. They're. I mean, I think it's entirely impossible for Alim at this point of the game to also predict what strats the community is going to come out with, because there are so many ways to break your trial design, and then instead they put in this gargantuan stupid shit that then instead makes it really boring to play, and when they don't, it becomes way too easy.
I
So
I think, I mean, being worried that people are going to break your fight so you make everything boring, like, I would rather have interesting fights that we can trivialize than boring fights that we can't.
yeah, yeah. Well, okay. I see what you're saying. And I don't disagree. And I mean, there's also like Sinzar was talking about in the Discord again. Join our Discord. You could actually talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Sinzar. I keep using Sinzar to sell our Discord. Is that immoral?
I mean,
No, it's fine.
I mean, are you at least buying him dinner first?
I mean, Sinzar, if you come to Sweden, I will buy you dinner. I will do more than that. Hook me up. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, shit. Now I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Trials being boring but
Oh
unbreakable.
yeah. Because Sinzar said this very nice thing in the Discord again, where he said that it's actually fun to try to break a trial, because the previous trial could be done. Like Sinzar made some amazing and funny videos with like literal trash tier units still helping you defeat these trials.
Are you saying that Russell is trash tier? Russell?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I do, and it's cool. It is cool. I definitely see it as a fun and interactive puzzle. Like you have this trial, it has these requirements that you can't break it with, and then you really need to create this nice puzzle to fit in, or as many damage dealers as you want, or just as few units as you want, which is both are fun. So it's going to be interesting to see if Sinzar does some creative clears for the Two-Headed Dragon. I know he has videos up already, of course, but yeah, let's see if he does any more.
Yeah. Do we want to wrap it up here?
Yeah. Yes, I think this is it for this week, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully by the time the next week rolls around, Dream will have finished swimming across the ocean, and Cotton will... I mean, it won't be a full moon next week, so I guess she won't still be attacked by a werechow.
Yeah. But now that we are fewer hosts, we might also even find a better time slot so, Cotton can keep being a huge ass baby and wake up a bit later instead and actually join us. Because we are missing you, Cotton. We are. Dream, I mean, you're okay. You're no Cotton, but you're okay.
And it's good that you're getting exercise.
It is. Like, see it as a positive thing. You're getting a blowjob from a shark and getting that cardio up. That's decent, right?
With that toned swimmer body and the New Zealand accent, he's just irresistible.
Oof, I mean, he already is irresistible. So, like, yeah, oof.
It's a force multiplier, and that's it for this week, I guess.
That's it for this week. Thanks, everyone.
I feel like there's somebody else that we're forgetting, but we can worry about that some other time.